The forge has gone quiet, the bellows blow no more. The forge has gone quiet, the smiths have gone home. Only fading embers remain, and my hearth grows cold. One kiss from you to rekindle it all.
Okay, so welcome back to Queen of Embers episodes 5 and 6 tonight, I think. 5, 6, something like that.
5, 6.
So, a lot's been happening in the past week. Obviously, Zweihänder is now available on Amazon, which is super cool. It's available on Barnes & Noble, IndieBound. It's coming to Amazon International in a couple weeks. We made our big announcement today for the publisher relationship with Angels Reveal, which is kind of cool. It means we're now kind of sitting among authors like Matthew Inman from The Oatmeal, Roger Ebert, the guy who did Boondocks, Farside, some other stuff too. So this is kind of Andrew McMeal's Universal is the name of the company. It's kind of their first foray into the tabletop role-playing game world. So it's pretty exciting for all of us because that means more exposure, more books, etc., etc. So that's cool. But we're back to play Queen of Embers. As you probably listeners already know, we've been running this game for a little bit now, and we're kind of play testing along a new campaign that will eventually be released for print. We'll probably bring it to Kickstarter at some point. But I'm going to give you guys some insight on how it's developed, how it's played, how it's written, how it's marketed to. We'll have a campaign around that as well, I'm sure, to kind of show you how that's kind of done. But for now, you're just going to either listening or you're watching on YouTube our sessions. So the first thing you'll probably notice, for those who can see but not hear, Nick is not here because he had a baby. So that's super cool.
Congratulations.
Welcome to the world, Olive.
That's right.
Yeah.
So he'll probably be gone for a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah,
Definitely
a couple sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the good thing is he can actually watch these sessions in retrospect and be like, okay, you can jump right back in.
Right, exactly.
So I don't think he'll miss out too much. But the regular gang is here, so we'll go around the table and talk and say our character name and what our profession is. We'll start with Mike.
I am playing Harper Claviger, and I am a dragoon.
Walter, who are you playing?
I am Alistair Krim. I'm a convict.
Tim?
I'm Banneker Steeples the Second, and I am a highwayman.
Okay. And Adam?
I am Terwin Forrester, and I am a man-at-arms. And I named my character sheet.
I'm your game master, Daniel Fox. Welcome back to Queen of Embers. So, where we last left off, quite a bit of stuff happened. So, Tim, you want to maybe give a recap of kind of what happened last session?
So much. Well, okay, so the night really started with us. We found a light that was off the beaten path.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we went to try to fix that. Adam's character, Terwin, Forrester, who is our lieutenant, decided that the lady said all lights, so we were doing all lights. So we went to try to fix that light. It was not going so well. The Amadeus dropped some panes, and then we saw a light in the window, so we started checking things out, and basically it all came down to some weird wind that knocked all the light out, and the goat bayed for like bayed, and then what's
Nick's character's name is
Warren
Rhodes.
Warren Rhodes heard he was trying to light his lantern and, you know, tell everybody everything was okay, or he was trying to speak to somebody, but all he could hear was his name being said over and over again. And then he doesn't really think his name is his name anymore, or something like that.
Yeah, something kind of strange. He was transfixed by the Leviathan's eye, apparently.
There we go.
So,
That's, I'll let you lead the listener back to your actual storyline.
No, that's good. No, that's good. It's interesting. So Warren, kind of taken with that, you all get the lamp fixed. Why are you fixing all these lamps?
It is the and I said it gets Penumbra. Third anniversary of the Cataclysm. So that's when a star fell, and basically the faith and most people of our world believe that the end times are nigh, and that was the start of it. So this is the third anniversary of that, and the Baroness, who runs the town that we're in, has decreed that, you know, all commerce and normal things will happen on this night. So lighting of all the lamps in the city is her way of trying to promote that. But it's not working well, because we're really the only people.
What are you talking about? We're doing a fantastic job. We're like halfway there.
No. I'm not meaning us. It's just not working well that everyone is still indoors besides us. We're really the only ones out.
It's almost like she's going to try to fight against superstition of the people to show that, you know, the Baroness is not. Remember, the Baroness's life. There's an attempt on her life 3 years ago during the Cataclysm, and she has tried to show the people that there's nothing to be afraid of. That this is not the end times.
She's trying to bring life back to normalcy.
That's right.
And at this point, it's not. Maybe it's working for certain people, like, you know, us, but there's nobody in the streets.
Yeah.
Still. So then we continue to light lanterns, and we're getting low on supplies. So Amadeus says we need to go to. It's a kids' orphanage, right?
Orphanage, yeah, that's right.
Okay. And I guess it's in an old theater, so we were going there to you know, get resupply and, you know, finish this job. When we get there, there's supposedly the kids have all died of a mysterious sickness.
A ghost?
Well, they explain it's a ghost, but then the one guy tries to play it off like, you know, hey guys, we don't believe in ghosts. It's you know, these kids died of something.
Right. Who was that person you were talking to?
Hold on.
I used talked to in the past tense because
spoilers.
You're spoiling it. Talked. What was his name? I can't remember.
Father something.
Father Jeremiah.
For Father Jeremiah, who actually who actually became somebody else later. But yeah, Father Jeremiah is trying to, like, hey, you know,
we have a name.
The marm or whoever takes care of these people, the kids, which is a sister of two. She's a holy woman, but she's, I guess, like
sauce a lot.
Yeah, she likes her Black Lotus.
She's treating her weevils while, you know, self-medicating.
And Amadeus did tell us, yeah, she definitely has this. That's not a thing, but, you know, that was true. You know, push comes to shove. Forrester's got Terrence got a bad feeling about this guy. You know, I don't know how it comes to be, but he decides that he's going to look at these kids.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
and as he decides to look at the kids, I step as far back as I possibly can. Because I'm not superstitious, but I'm not going to die for some other people. So what was the reason? I can't remember why you decided to look.
I don't remember the exact reason, but I mean, like, he wasn't buying it. He was not buying it at all. And I think the biggest reason that Terwin decided to not do it is because when he asked to look at the children, he only revealed the
feet,
the ankles, and, like, shins. And it was like, well, this monster supposedly was, like, eating the souls out of them, and so it, you know, he was imagining that it would have been their stomach or their neck or something like that. And so
and then when you started questioning it, that's when he said, well, I think she medicated the kids and gave them too much whatever. And then you were like, okay, well, where's this woman at? And then he was like, but he did a good job. He deflected long enough for his other compadres to the other villains to abscond with a portion of the children.
Do you recall where they were going? Where they
Yeah, the River of
Yeah.
Locks, or the Bridge of Locks.
the Lovelock Bridge.
Lovelock Bridge,
Where you just
that'll
come
work
from,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that unstable bridge.
It's
Oh.
very unstable bridge.
Imagine all those kids being on there.
I know, it was super unstable.
So then it comes down to basically Walter, which character? Alistair Crane, our criminal, our person who beats people for us to get information out, is the only one that I guess has any heal abilities, because he noticed that one of the kids was bleeding.
Right.
And then he called him a monster. We got the kid off there. Then all hell broke loose, and they attacked us.
That's right. Yeah, kind of parry from there, and then I think the evening was ended by one of the thugs, one of the outlaws that was with Father Jeremiah was slain.
Brained.
He was brained and slashed and choked, and then finally Father Jeremiah gave up because there's nobody else there. Like
Right.
the other two Carters had absconded with the children. And what happened from there? Adam?
Terwin gave him a good warning, saying that he's trying to decide whether he gets to live or not, so choose his words carefully. And then he told him about how they're selling kids into slavery, which is playing off of the history of anyone who's ever played a Forester. The Foresters really have they're gruff people and they're very warlike people, but they have a soft spot in their heart for children. And so being a little mentally unstable most of the times, this was definitely a subject that would set him off. And so he found out that they were being sold into slavery, and Tevin again warned him somehow that it was like, you need to choose your words carefully. And then the next thing he said was, there's no difference between you and me other than your badge. And he was like, oh, well, in that case, and he killed him.
He also said that he would be out. Like,
Yeah.
You take
that
me.
was it.
Yeah,
you
you take me
take-
to prison, I'll just be out.
I'll be out the next day because I know people of influence. And you were like, really? I've got an answer for that. And
Yes, that was it.
stabbed
Yes.
him through his throat.
Yeah,
It was an unusual play on his part.
Yeah.
I would lie about the influence.
I would lie about the influence. Be like, no,
yeah.
I'm
Please
pleading
don't
your
send
mercy.
me, yes.
Yeah,
Please don't throw me in the bear patch.
might have worked with him,
And as we stopped, I said I was trying to figure out how we explain to Amadeus that a Dufresne agent just did murder in the streets.
We'll have to get to that now.
That's
won't we?
So that's exactly where it ended. It ended at a point of Terwin Forrester murdering a slaver.
Oh, and Harper rode off into the distance trying to see if he could track down those.
That's right. Harper rode off to see if he could find the Carters and see if he hadn't lost sight of them. So let's go ahead and roll initiative real quick, gentlemen. If we could.
Yeah, we'll try.
I'll get this recorded up here.
That's better.
Okay. So, Terwin, what'd you get?
I got 12.
Okay, not Alistair. Banneker?
14.
Okay. Alistair?
12.
Okay. Harper?
15.
So it's going to go Harper at the top of the initiative ladder. Then we're going to go to Banneker at 14. Terwin and Alistair have matching results. What's your perception bonuses?
5.
6.
6. Okay, so it'll be Alistair next. And then it will be at the very bottom of the initial ladder. It'll be Terwin. So we will pick up right at the point where we stopped. The body of Father Jeremiah, or whoever he may have been, if that was truly his name
Told
at
us
all.
his name too, and
Butler. He said his name. I don't think he did that. I think he said who he worked for, though. He said he worked for a man named Druth.
Druth.
Which sounds like a foreign name. And he said, "You don't know who the hell I'm at." I think he mentioned something about the persistent viper.
Yeah, that was it. He was part
Yeah.
of the. That's what he was. That was his gang name, right?
Yeah.
Persistent.
So you say that we
Vipers.
could not handle the Druth?
You can handle the Druth. Sorry, Druce. My apologies, not Druth. What's wrong with me? I am off tonight.
Well, perhaps we can.
What are they called? The persistent vipers?
The persistent viper is the name of what he said before he was slaughtered. Beyond that, you didn't hear of anything else.
Perhaps if it gets too bad, we can call it yours.
Yeah.
That's right. So the corpse of Father Jeremiah slides off the end of Teron's sword, and there's this kind of collective, kind of almost air being, kind of like a kind of everyone kind of draws a breath in, save for perhaps Alistair.
Well, boss.
As the body collapses to the ground, Amadeus kind of takes a couple steps back, and he kind of stops and focuses for a moment, and he kind of gets a very serious look.
Boss?
Yes.
Is your head clear now?
More clear than it's been in a while. Days.
I'll just stare at Amadeus.
He's staring.
He's a slaver, so I have no answer. You're gonna have to talk to this man. The other one attacked me. You did see that, right? My death was fair.
He is at a loss for words from it, not because he's scared, but he's kind of trying to find his words. You did the right thing, he says, kind of almost admittingly to Terwin.
All right.
It doesn't always feel that way, but it more or less felt like it needed to be done.
Brigandine's gonna find out.
Are they?
Do
they need to?
Well,
They were stealing children. They attacked us.
The thing that we need to figure out is, do we let Brigandine know about this? I mean, surely they have a system worked out.
You're not there.
I know, that's why I'm like, stop looking at me.
Sorry.
You don't see Harper and his storm horse. They went storming down the cobblestone street. Beneath each of those gaslights, when he disappears, he's looking for the slavers.
Boss, do we need to go after the other slavers, though? And then again, we've been paid for a job.
Right.
What is? If Amadeus is good, I mean, I don't give a fuck about this filth.
I don't want to drag Amadeus into a fight.
No. I'm not meaning that. Can you hold up here while we go get them?
You mean stay here with the dead man?
And who's them?
What are you suggesting? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Well, I mean go in that building right there, the where we have the supplies that we haven't loaded back into the cart. We're out of supplies. The cart's fine. You go into the building and you hold up there, lock the door, and we go after the slavers, and we come back and we finish the job. That to me is choice one. Choice two is, we drag these guys over into an alleyway. We finish our job, and we saved X number of children. That's choice two. I'm not a fan of choice two. But I'm not the leader.
Even though you're not a leader, input's good.
Well, I'm a leader. I'm just not the leader.
Fair enough.
I can do this if you feel it's necessary. Absolutely.
Well, let's get these children inside.
I can't rest. Just knowing that there's children is out there.
Well then, you decided, boss. I mean, that's
you mind helping me? He turns toward Alistair. You mind helping me here? Grab the body.
Oh, Maud.
I'll do my best to nurse these children, but they're not stirring at all.
I don't know anything about healing there.
I'll watch over them until you return. I wish you luck. I hope you can find them.
One thing's for certain, don't give them any laudanum, particularly that one. As I point to the one that I had already administered to those two.
Down the street, you're riding at top speed. You pull the horse to a stop. cold. It's night. It's dark. You can see a twinkling of a lamplight kind of disappear around the bend. Without a doubt, they're down this way. If you were to fetch the others, you could catch up. Providing they ran there.
Right. Because I can't remember how much. This is not really like a straight shot, kind of.
No, it is not.
Right.
The street kind of twists and winds through Slum Row amidst burnt out buildings and slapdash shacks and the husks of old towers that had collapsed. A once opulent area, perhaps in certain parts of Slum Row, but has fell into dilapidation and literally been overtaken by the wilderness in some places.
So I'm pretty sure I have a good idea of where they're heading then.
Without a doubt, they're heading to Lovelock Bridge.
Okay. If I have an idea of where they're going to be, then, I mean, I might be able to take 2 of them, because I remember there being 2 of them. But, I mean, if there's more, I don't know if there's going to be more. Because you don't usually just have 3 men steal 15 children for no reason. So, yeah, I'm going to hoof it back then.
Okay. He returns, his horse frothing and sweaty with lather as he kind of pulls up on the reins and clop, 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 clop. It stops in the middle of your conversation.
All right. I think I know where they're heading. That Lovelock Bridge.
Well,
But
at least he wasn't lying about one thing.
Yeah, he was good.
they're leading towards that way. But I mean, I probably could take 2. But if there's more than 2, well, I wouldn't want to put them kids' lives in danger.
I would never want to put one man against 2, no matter what the how good they are.
Oh well, it'd be 2 on 2. Me and Matthew would handle them, but
True.
But I reckon if we can hoof it there, if you men are up to it.
Well, I'm up to this.
Alrighty then.
It's not the smartest decision, but
Do we move the kids inside?
I thought he was out already helping him out with that.
Let's barricade him in.
Yeah,
Put him
no,
back
let's
inside.
we were gonna help too, weren't we? I mean,
Yeah, let's do this quick.
Alright.
You got to tell the law what happened.
Oh, I will.
It's just the right thing to do for your own sake. People who have things to hide, they're the ones that don't say anything.
I don't have nothing to hide.
No, you don't. I'll turn back to the work.
So will you all head toward Lovelock Bridge then?
Yep.
The children are safe as they could possibly be inside. The corpse of Father Jeremiah is leaning against a nearby wall of a building. Taking the lantern and the light that you have with you, you begin moving as quickly as possible back to Lovelock Bridge.
Basil, how fast does a goat move?
Who's
We're out of goat.
At this point, because that Warren is so kind of awestruck by what's happened just in general, he's going to defer and stay here to defend Amadeus just in case. See if he can administer any sort of healing to the children, or at least awaken them from their slumber, because they are all clearly alive. As he kind of nods and they're all alive, he says in his kind of weird Gralstedian drawl.
I'll point to Father Jeremiah's body and be like, anything on him he doesn't need anymore. If he's got anything that will help us with them that lot up there.
I'll search the 2 bodies. I ain't above taking.
Okay.
Let me have those gloves.
I'll throw him his gloves.
He has a pair of cestus. He's wearing quilted armor. He has a scourge. And in his pockets, he has 10 silver shilling.
What size is he? Like, what's his body type?
Husky.
Oh, really?
So quilted armor is husky.
I have to wear that.
Jules, take it.
Quilted is 1 damage threshold, but keep in mind when you wear quilted, you lose your natural quality for dodge. So reduce your dodge by 10%.
It's 2 apiece, silver. Just remind.
We'll do it.
Some time passes as you.
Come on, guys.
I'll get the, yeah, we'll.
What about the other guy? Do you want me to take him too?
If there's anything you want off of him, I don't need anything.
You continue to pilfer the bodies as time passes.
Come on now, we're burning nighttime.
Okay, well, let's go.
There's
I'm just following orders.
That ain't going nowhere. Them kids might be.
there's blood all over this armor as you slip it on.
You ever seen any of the money that didn't? It's like what a judgment night.
As for this person, the other person you had slew, he has 7 brass pennies on him.
Yep.
All right, let's go.
All right. You begin to make your way down there, moving as quickly as possible. I would like for Harper, you're going to make a handle animal test, which will be challenged. Everyone else needs to make an athletics test, which is
challenging athletics.
Yeah, this is a fail forward test, so failure does not necessarily mean you fail to get there. It just means you incur peril.
Is it challenging?
Yes.
Both are challenging?
Yes.
55.
That's 32 success.
That is a failure.
It's a failure.
That is a super duper failure.
Oh, you critically failed?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Anyone want to re-roll that, save for... you can't re-roll.
Yeah, I was like, I'll re-roll.
No re-rolls?
I'm
Nope.
good.
No, it's just why we're trying to put on Kaista's armor and move at the same time. Stupid mistake. Yeah, it didn't make it.
So, those who failed will be a little winded by the time you get to Lovelock Bridge, about 20 minutes later. Those who just failed suffer 9 physical peril. Those who critically failed suffer 15 critical peril. Or, sorry, 15 physical peril, sorry.
Alright, I'm in peril.
And then ignore 3 ranks.
Oh, jeez.
Ooh,
So-
you are stressed out, man.
Not having a good time.
Fatigue, stressed.
That's what happens when you start the campaign off with start the night off with a critical failure on a stress test.
Yeah.
It did happen, didn't it?
Yeah, that
just
wasn't
did
good. Not good at all, so you could say.
It's good
So-
to give money to the guys and my
You,
talisman thing.
as you're going, Alistair, in your thinking upon this, and you're running as fast as you can, the name Bruce does strike a bell. Now, being as you are a descendant of Ambius Krim, he had many stories of the ruthless Pictish in the north. Those Pictish had, of course, raided and harried along the edges of the Rovane girdle for a number of years. And the name Druce stands out. You can't. It must have been in one of his stories. It sounds familiar. You just can't associate with the story, but the name sounds like a Pictish name.
He'd have to be long dead by now.
Is it possible that you speak Pictish?
That's a good question. I don't think it was discussed when we did creation, so
be
it's going to have to be
Known languages.
the language is known. I don't think that I have it. Let's find out. Language is known. I did not fill that in, actually.
So you definitely speak
Unknown.
Ald, A-U-L-D.
Unknown.
And I would say it probably makes more sense for you to speak Pictish.
For a Dunish folk.
Yeah. You
All
speak
right.
Dunish and Pictish.
Yeah.
Are they pretty
Or
similar?
Blarmy, I think, is the actual technical.
Blarmy.
Blarmy is the derogatory term.
Oh, that's what I would call it.
Yeah, Dunish is
Yeah.
the Dunnan speak Dunish, or the Dunish speak
The
Dunish, and they also speak Blarmy, which is the derogatory term. Or if you call him a hillsman, that's
Right,
another.
a hillsman.
But
That doesn't sound
And,
nice.
and Gothric is Marble Mouth.
Yeah.
the Pictish are is certainly a more. They have very different values than the Dunish. That's the best way to kind of define them. They are a very old clannish people who come from a place called Gwarhoth, the Horn Society, as it's known to the people here, but have been raiders and pillagers for a number of years. Their numbers are small. They've been mostly driven out of the civilized lands. As you approach the Lovelock Bridge, you can already see that there is this kind of situated along the edge of the riverbank. Because remember, it kind of drops down, slopes down to the river. There is a kind of a jetty with an but they kind of outbuilding. Like you can see the mast of the ship. You can't see the sail. You can't see the people on the deck because it sits so far below the bank. But you can immediately make out that there are 2 abandoned carts on the side of the bank. And you don't see anybody at all. You just see the mast of that ship, but you can see the kind of light, the gloaming of light along the edge of the riverbank, like people are on the deck of the ship. They may have gotten here too late. They could be leaving right now. What do you all want to do?
Anyone think they can get on board the ship quietly?
Nope.
No, I'm gonna start moving forward to see if I can get into a position to start shooting arrows though.
Okay.
All right.
What about yourself, Taylor?
Boss, I'm moving up.
Come with me. Stay beside me. As I will start to head down towards that jetty.
You come down toward the edge of the bank, and you realize the jetty kind of shoots out toward the. There's still kind of like a little bit of sand and earth and silt. Like there's earth and embankment, and there's still some buildings along the side of the river. And it's a branch of the Bastards River that runs through Durandal. It's not a broad river, but the river doesn't quite start until we're further out. So as you get to the very edge of this kind of sandy bank where you're at, Banneker, you're about 19 yards out.
19 yards. Okay.
And you can see from here as you all kind of come up collecting along the edge of the embankment that leads down into the silty kind of sandbar where the jetty is. You're on horse, so you get there first. You see that the ship is now moving.
No.
It's moving away from the jetty.
Mm.
It hasn't quite left the jetty yet, but it's moving away from it.
Run!
Is there any way? There wouldn't be any way. I mean, I don't think there would be. But for me to get on there, because is it like above the jetty or below the jetty?
No, the ship would be below the jetty.
Okay. So would I think I'd be able to get my horse in there?
Try it.
All right, let's do that.
Harper kind of pulls on the reins and he starts storming down the side of the sandbank with sand kicking up behind the horse. And he kind of comes up on the wooden jetty here, clunk, 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 and he leans forward, and the whole horse kind of goes along and leans out, and you see him leap over off the jetty toward the ship. This is happening at the same time. So, Alistair, what are you doing at this time?
I'll look over to Terran. Like,
Terran has already said run.
all right.
Attempt to board the ship?
Yeah, I think I can make the leap too, actually.
Okay. What about yourself, Taron? Are you going to try to leap onto the ship?
Yes.
And then what about yourself, Banneker?
Boss has spoken.
Okay, so you've stopped, and you're intending to fire initially. So do you want to just? My assumption is now you just want to run down there and try to get on top of the ship. Okay. As you're coming toward the ship, you realize that there are 5 individuals on this ship. Clearly, it's a very small, slim, flat-bottomed, swift river ship with a single mast. The sail kind of bellows open as the midnight air, cold and autumn, begins to carry it down the Bastards River. You can hear the bell towers in the city strike 1 o'clock. It's been an hour past the witching hour since everything had happened with the Leviathan's Eye and the gas lamp. You all begin rushing toward the ship, hoping to get aboard. First, we will go to you. So, the ship is not very far away. Because you have the advantage of the horse, it will be a routine test for you.
Okay.
This test is fail forward. If you critically fail, you don't make it on the ship. You drop in the water. If you fail it, you suffer physical peril.
Okay.
When you hit the deck and sprawl flat prone. So,
what test?
It is going to be a routine handle animal.
Okay, handle animal. All right, so that would be a 63. That's an 81, but my professional trait, Here Comes the Cavalry, allows me to, when I fail a handle animal test or ride test, I may re-roll.
Nice.
So I will
Dragoon!
use my. And again, that is 63. And that is a 75.
Okay.
Oh
As the horse drops upon the ship, you see it kind of bow to one side slightly, and then he kind of loses his grip as you will twist. As the animal will twist an ankle, and that animal will suffer a.
Matthew, no.
Yeah. You will choose from these cards what happens to your horse and or you, referencing the mishaps deck.
Nice.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Seems like a good chain of time for a mishap today.
Yeah. So pick a card, any card.
We'll just go near the top. There we go.
So what happens?
Wobbly wheel. Until fixed, passengers must flip the results to fail all actions in combat that rely on distance beyond engaged.
Okay. So in this case, it will be that your horse has been hurt.
Okay.
And this will apply while you're on the horse.
Okay.
So the
unless
horse
you're
is
engaged, you can't. You
So
can't attack.
I must flip the results to fail all actions in combat that rely on distance beyond engaged.
Okay.
As long as it's engaged, I'm okay.
That's right.
So you can't
But if I
fire
were
a
trying to
bow
use the
from
reach weapon
horseback,
on my
right?
sword, my spear,
Yeah.
then and they're more than outside the engagement, then I would.
Or fire a bow from horseback, like
Right.
the Mongolian style.
Yeah. So following up behind him is Alistair. Alistair, make a standard athletics test.
Yeah, I can just got my breath enough to make this jump. A standard athletics test is gonna
Sorry,
be.
my apologies. It's standard athletics or coordination.
Definitely gonna go with athletics.
It is a fail forward.
All right. So standard athletics test for Alistair is a 65% chance. He rolled an 89, but I am actually going to re-roll that.
Okay, I'll gain one misfortune point.
Come on, guys, we got to get some good rolls.
Somebody's gonna roll. There we
26.
go.
I
There we
succeeded.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
You land on your feet as you're on the boat. Now we go for Banneker. It is a standard athletics or coordination.
I'm going to use coordination.
Okay.
I have a 46% chance. And I don't know what that is. So
That's cocked in the corner, so you gotta reroll one.
I rolled a 57, so man, I'm failing.
All you had to do is you were just checking to see if you critically failed it.
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
Do you want to reroll that?
No.
Yeah. Okay. You hit
Yeah, well...
No, I don't have. I only
Okay.
have a 46%.
you hit the deck hard, as you will suffer 4 physical.
I am still imperiled.
And Terwin, almost out of breath, he leaps out toward it's a standard athletics or coordination test. Up to you.
Athletics, it'll be, I've got a 51% chance. And 89 will not do it. And seeing as how I can't afford the risk,
Yeah.
and a 25 will succeed.
Okay, Terran is on board. You're all on board. Unfortunately, you all are completely flat-footed as they gain the initiative. The first thing that you hear uttered from one of these men's mouths, this fellow who he does not look like he's from around here. He's very tall and lanky. He's wearing this long cloak that almost looks like it's made from the skin of many, many snakes. And you can see just the shadow of his nose and his mouth, and his teeth are filed sharp, and you can see this kind of blue paint along the bottom of his chin that kind of meets shaped like a beard, like a blue kind of paint along the underneath side of his face. And you immediately recognize this, Alistair, as Pictish war paint. And he utters a phrase which translates as Zengshesh, which means leave no survivors, as he will use inspiring words for those who are on the ship. So Druce, the Pict, will go first. Let me roll his initiative real quick. So Druce will have a 5 plus 10 to 15. I got a perception bonus of 7. Harper, what's your perception bonus?
5.
5? Okay. And for the other thugs on the ship, the slavers, if you will, they have a 1 plus 6, so 7. So he uses inspiring words to raise the, as he says, Zengsesh, which means leave no survivors. He succeeds his test, and you recognize that immediately, Alistair, that he is the only Pictish on this boat. The rest look similar to those Folkish fellows who were more heavily armed than you would anticipate, who had absconded with the children. In fact, 2 of their faces you immediately recognize, but as you kind of come up on deck, you realize that you are grossly, you're about to be overwhelmed by the numbers. From beneath the cloak of Pict, he withdraws 2 pistols and clicks and pulls back on both hammers, and he gets ready to level them at somebody, but his turn's over. The slavers, whose turn it is now, because they have surprise.
I'm going to use a fortune point to avoid surprise.
What are you using?
I'm using danger sense.
Oh, nice. Okay. So,
What does danger sense do?
It says you spend 1 fortune point to avoid surprise.
nice. So it is going to be your turn, Terwin. You interrupt.
Okay. I'm going to draw my weapons.
Okay. So shield and sword. That's 2 AP.
Okay, and then I'm going to clink my sword against my shield, and I'm going to say, just like we killed those other 2, let's save these kids from these. And I'm going to say an expletive, but I just moved my shoulder in a bad way. Sorry.
Roll with your right hand, sir.
Okay.
Roll your injury table.
That's right.
Yeah.
What is your current damage
For
condition?
gesticulating.
My current damage condition is unharmed.
Okay, so it's a routine leadership test.
Okay. So it's a 48% chance because I'm suffering from peril. And an 11, a critical success.
Nice. So not only do you all gain +1 to your damage and peril condition tracks, you can feel the spirit build within you as you Terwin will go 1 step up the peril condition track constantly.
Nice.
I'll take it.
So you recover. So that is 3 AP. Okay, so now the slavers will go. They begin to mobilize on the ship. The first thing that they do is they recognize that there is this massive horse and man upon it, and 3 of the slavers rush over to the belaying pin, and one of them pulls it out of where the rope is tied around the mast, freeing the mast to swing outward, and the other 2 kind of push it outward toward all of you as you kind of leapt up on one side of the ship. They're trying to sweep you off. So I'm going to make a, quote, takedown test. My test will be a surprise, so it's easy. But it doesn't matter because I rolled 94. Okay. So 94 is not going to make it. They push the mast around, where it's kind of between the sail, like the L shape. It kind of swings towards you and cocks in place as it hits a number of crates. It locks in place. Fortunately, it does not swing over you, so their gambit is not successful. That brings us to the very top of the initiative ladder. Surprise is now over, and now it is the Pictish man, Druce's turn. And all you can see is literally his nose and his filed teeth and his blue paint on his chin. But as he pulls out the pistols, blam, blam, he pulls the trigger on both of them, firing once toward Terwin and once toward you. As he spends all 3 AP for his blam blam ability. So the first attack will be toward Terwin. This is a 70% chance for success. That's a 33 critical success.
Okay.
Oh no.
Everyone's a gunpowder up, they explode on 1 and 6s now.
Yep.
So I'm going to add an additional d6 for critical success. It's an explosion and an explosion, so 7. Another explosion, 7 plus 6 is 13, 14, 15, 16, 22 damage. Blam! He pulls the trigger.
Okay, so that's gonna send me 3 steps down the damage condition track. down to seriously wounded.
Ugh. Roll 2d6.
This side of the scale. And 2 and 4 won't do it.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, very fortunate for me.
Ugh. Literally fortunate.
Yeah.
That's good. So his first shot fires out. The second shot comes toward Harper. He has a 70% chance for success. That is a 66. There's 2 crits next back to back. We'll do 2d6 again on this. No explosions, so 66. 12 damage.
Okay.
Bam!
I am lightly wounded.
Okay. So no injuries, which is good. As he does this, he drops one of the pistols, and with his other ability, reloads it for free. His turn is over. Harper, as you are literally choking on gun smoke and realize that you may be a little bit out of your element, or perhaps overwhelmed with their strength, or whatever it may be, or maybe just kind of an unlucky night on Penumbra. You're on your horse. You've managed to recover. Your horse is clearly limping as it's suffering from a mishap. The question is, what do you want to do? The deck of the ship will easily accommodate your horse, but it will make for very uneasy footing for everybody else, as it will now be considered hard terrain for everyone, meaning everyone.
Okay.
The ship is bobbing back and forth on the river as he's moving about on the horse on horseback. As long as you're on horseback, it's considered hard terrain. So that means no charge, no run, no maneuver.
So I will arm myself with my firearm spear and my shield.
So you loosen your spear from the reins on the side of your horse for 1 AP, and you loosen your wooden shield off your back. It's 2.
And then there's no one engaged with me right now, right?
There's not, no.
Okay. Alright, well I will then bank that last AP and see if anyone's going to come towards me.
Okay. So there are 4 slavers plus Druce, the ship's captain. So we now move on to Banner. Yes.
Wasn't I supposed to be second in the order?
No, you're not. It's
You
Harper's
just
first.
Drew is Harper than you.
That's right.
Okay.
So Banneker's now your turn.
The rest of that was suppressor.
That's right. So
Okay.
Banneker's now your turn.
Okay.
What do we do?
Oh, the rest was all surprise.
That's right.
Yes.
Is there anybody near me?
No, there's none. In fact,
How close is that lantern to me?
which lantern? The one you're holding? Does he have a lantern? Did you have a
No,
lantern?
no. You said there was a lantern on the deck of the ship.
Yes, it's on top of the nearby crates, about 3 yards away.
I'm going to move over it, smash it onto the ground, and let it burn the ship.
Okay, so that's 2 AP. As you
What are
do
you
that,
doing?
as you break the lantern, the oil begins to spill across, and the fire begins to light on the deck. You realize that you can't see where the children are at, and that everybody else is still on the ship. So you got 1 AP left.
I think you should pull the ship in now. You fucking piece of shit.
I'm going to add initiative listing for fire.
And I'll make my last AP.
Okay, all right. So now it is going to be the fire begins to slowly spread. Alistair, the flames are not high by any means, but you can see that he went over and just broke it with he's kind of taken it and threw it to the ground.
Fire on a ship, worst thing you could possibly have.
How far away is the picked with the pistol?
He is 6 yards away.
Okay, so I can get there in one AP.
Hustle, yeah. So you have taken it. Yep, hustle that direction. But keep in mind that you have between him and you, there are the other outlaws.
Okay. So I can't. There's no way through right now. I'm blocked off.
Unfortunately, not. Those 4 picks are kind of like blocking the way, so to speak. They're standing in kind of various positions in front of him.
Okay. I will I will hustle up to the first pick then.
The first time.
Yeah, or not the pick,
Cool.
the slavers and
It'll be 3 yards.
yeah. Let's see, so that's 1 AP. I will take careful aim and offer like a feint with my left hand before coming in with a right hook with the other hand wearing the Keistus. So a called shot.
Okay. So that called shot for what? What part?
Like his ribs, basically,
Okay,
like a
cool.
side
It's gonna be a signature
shot.
shot.
Yeah. All right. So this is a 51% chance. I got a 30, so I successfully hit.
Nice.
Got him in the ribs.
So he can't dodge your paradox as a called shot. So roll damage.
All right. Come on, 6. We need a 6 here. That's a 1. That's not a 6 at all. That is 9 points of brawling damage.
Wow! Wow! He knocks the wind out of him as he moves 1 step down the damage condition track. He's down lightly wounded.
All right.
These slavers, unsurprisingly, they're wearing quilted, as you saw before, but they're kind of not armed at this point either. Remember, they're trying to swing the mast toward all of you, so they're not quite ready. So that's 2 AP.
Yeah, and I use 1 to move, so
Okay, so
that's
3.
3. Yep.
Okay. So Alistair's turn is over. Terran, what do you do?
Terran's going to close the distance with this engagement that he's part of.
Okay, so you move forward toward the picks, which is 3 yards at best. Or sorry, toward the slavers. At 3 yards at best, you hustle forward.
Okay, hustle forward, and then I'm going to take aim, and I'm going to attack the same one that he did.
Slash! Okay, it's going to be routine.
Okay.
You bring your sword down to bear.
Okay, routine will make it 60. And a 92 won't go.
Okay. You swing outward and the sword catches on something. It's night, it's dark, the lantern was extinguished, you have no light yourself. The only light that there is at this point is the light of the Leviathan's eye burning blue overhead along with the field of stars that surrounds all of Mahoma.
And then I
Dim.
will bank my last action point.
Okay. It's now going to be the slaver's turn. You realize at this point the ship is already kind of going down the river and it's past the jetty, and Lovelock Bridge is just a mere is in your wake. It's behind you. You're heading down the Bastards River through the city. The first thing that the slaver does in front of you is he is going to recover his light crossbow.
Okay.
So he kind of takes it from nearby, grabs it, he locks and loads it. I will spend 1 misfortune point for him to hustle backwards, so I'm automatically initiating an opportunity attack for you.
Alright. Sucks to you, buddy. Alright.
Chances are routine.
Routine. Alright, so this is a 61% chance. 42 is a hit.
BAP! You hit him as he staggers back. Full damage.
Alright. I do 12 points of damage on that one.
Okay. Well, that was a pretty poor choice on his part as he staggers back. He just, BAM! Cold cocks him right in the chin. He goes spinning as he's seriously wounded. Roll 2d6.
Come on, wounds.
Wounds.
No wounds.
No injuries.
No injuries.
So
See what happened to that guy.
he moves back for that 1 misfortune point, and I'll spend another misfortune point for him to make a ranged attack toward you.
Alright.
He is about 1 yard away. And 12% will strike. You have an AP?
I have lightning reflexes, so I can attempt to dodge or parry.
Yep, you can dodge.
I can dodge, yeah. So
So go ahead and make your test. It is going to be standard coordination.
39% chance because I'm wearing armor. 01.
Whoa! Not only Does Alistair manage to like see it and kind of he drops on all fours, scrambles forward, pops back up in front of the thug, and rises with a fist for an opportunity attack.
Sure you can. Standard.
Yep, standard test. He moves like an animal on all fours, and as he comes up,
51%. Come on, nice. Make this cool. 30% I hit him.
Nice. Roll damage.
Big six.
I got still pretty good.
Yeah,
13 points of
As he comes up with that fist, back! He sends him spinning, and then wham! He brings his left fist down into the back of the man's head, and he just hits the ground, and he's dead. Cool. As the slaver is disabled instantly through a series of misfortunate rolls.
Love it.
It's happened on this side.
Yeah. So that was the first slaver. As the other slaver recognizes what's happening, or the other three, I should say, they begin to kind of collect themselves, realizing that perhaps the most dangerous person on this ship is in fact not the person with the weapons or the guns, but it's probably going to be Alistair. Two of them immediately withdraw, they draw bollock daggers, and they begin kind of basically begin kind of thrusting and slashing. Yeah, you're all kind of within reach at this point anyhow. Right. So they'll take 1 AP for them to draw. One of them will kind of reach out toward your shirt and lunge forward. Roll a 91. Sorry, I should announce that. 55. He has a 91 will not strike. As he grabs your shirt, you kind of wrestle your way out as he slashes toward the air. The other one kind of uses the force behind his body to come forward and lunge at your belly. 53 will strike.
I would like to use my professional trait of shield wall.
Nice!
While engaged with an ally and they fail to parry, I cannot do so. I can use 1 AP to parry for them.
Nice! Okay. Roll the parry. It is going to be a standard simple melee test.
Standard simple melee will be 50% because of that nice little badge I've got.
Come on, man.
And a 14 will succeed.
Nice! Right as you think that this slaver's got you dead to rights, as he lunges forward, suddenly you see Tyrwin's shield, bam! Knock his arm away as you use your man-at-arms ability shield wall.
Nice.
So, fortunate for you.
Very cool.
Yeah.
The other one, as this happens, you kind of leave yourself open. Imagine like Dark Souls when you make that swing with your shield. You kind of leave yourself open.
Oh no!
He draws the bollock dagger, and he reaches out to take aim and lunges forward. I got a 10%.
Okay, and I'm going to use my lightning reaction to attempt to parry that one too.
Okay. That's going to be challenging simple melee.
Challenging simple melee, which will be a 40.
You can do it.
And a 10 will succeed.
Nice! As he comes in, you bring your shield. Ugh! You see the dagger bite into the wood. As it's kind of a pitched battle on top of the ship of slavers. At this point, Druce has one pistol loaded. He puts it in his belt, picked. He reaches down and picks up the other one and begins to load it. And then his turn is over. Harper.
Alright, so are any of them engaged with me? Or do I need to move?
You will need to move.
Okay.
Take him down! as I'm calling out towards Druce.
Is he up above, or
he's behind these three slavers.
So I wouldn't really be able to move through them, not with this horse.
You can certainly try, but you may trample everybody in front of you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna trample everyone. So I'm just gonna kind of move up to engage.
Okay, as you bring your horse to bear between everybody and how little room there is really to spread out on top of this ship, everyone needs to attempt a routine coordination test not to get shoved out in the engagement.
Alright.
Am I actually in the engagement? I'm the only one that hasn't moved up.
That's right, so you're fine.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure before I rolled.
I succeeded.
Nice.
And a 95 won't do.
Okay. As the horse comes up, suddenly turn, you find yourself in a staggering way, get stormed over. by him. But you now are engaged.
Using the size of the horse and the unwieldiness of the ship, I actually want to attempt a takedown by having Matthew spin around in a circle and attempt to hind push them either off the boat or knock them down.
Not a bad idea.
Sure.
Takedown.
Absolutely, yeah. Go ahead and make that test. It's going to be an easy handle animal test.
Okay. So easy.
Would
be a 73.
Yeah.
That's a 22 critical success.
Oh my god!
knock them all.
One of the slavers goes flying off into the water, sloosh, as he's been dispatched into the bastard's river. And at this point, Druce's eyes kind of widen. So remember, you will need to. Do you add any riders onto your AP?
No, not because of my Dragoon.
That's right.
Add any AP to my.
Cool. So it's just 1 AP per takedown. Okay. Success. Remember, whenever you attack from horseback, you gain a 1d10. You add an additional. I think you add an additional
D6 to attack damage. Yes.
Yes.
Anyone who is not on a horse.
That's right.
Or on a cart.
That's right.
So I will then make an attack with my fire hardened spear. Definitely using the advantage that I have to stab down on one of these terrible slavers.
Okay.
Difficulty?
It's going to be routine because you're on horseback.
Okay. It's going to be a 73.
Okay.
That's 12.
Okay. You strike. Go ahead and roll damage. Add your additional d6 to your die.
Okay. And this one's guy standing up, right? Alright, so 6 plus my combat bonus, so 7 is 13. Okay. Actually, sorry, my shield is light, so that'd be 14.
Okay.
So 14.
He is moderately wounded. Roll d6 to your die.
5.
No injuries.
Man, those things are loud.
I know.
Alright.
That's why I don't know.
Have you seen these things?
They're super heavy. Yeah, no, I felt them
Heavy
after
metal, yeah.
They're
Gen Con.
So the tide is turning. That's good. So Banneker, it is your turn now.
How far away am I?
You are 3 yards away from everyone.
Okay, and how is in the fire? Is there any way to? So I'm next to the crates.
Mm-hmm.
Can I open the crate? See if there's kids in there?
Sure. Roll a. You will need to attempt a trivial athletics test. It'll cost you 1 AP.
The man crate.
Okay, so 72 is my chance. And I rolled an 03. Oh, now I'm finally rolling.
You pull the top of the crate off, and you realize that these crates are certainly fit to put people in. There's holes drilled into it, and inside you see a few small bodies of these children that are inside one of these crates.
Okay. How close are we to the bank?
You're not.
How close are we to the thing that I don't know what that is? Yeah.
The rudder's in the back of the ship, and that's where Druce is standing.
Okay. Well, all right. So we know where the kids are.
Yes.
How close is the fire now that I kind of...
Really close to the crates because you threw it off the crate. Remember?
That's right.
Yeah, right next to the crate.
So, kind of pausing for a moment, just to kind of explain what's happening. So as he kind of threw the lantern down, it's kind of burning near these crates. These 2 crates are to the side of another. Clearly, the children are in this. There's also a 3rd crate toward the back of the boat, but it's open. I mean, they didn't have
the children put in there.
That's right. So the children are very, very close to the fire at this point.
Okay, so we need to either dispatch these people early and get to Druce and change the course of the boat, or I need to help the kids.
What will you do? Does your alignment have any impact on this choice?
Pride and arrogance? No. We don't care too much about children. No, I mean, I think I don't know. I don't think he has an idea what to do because he can't throw the kids into the water because they would just drown.
That's right.
Is there enough room to drag the kids? Drag this crate back to the front of the ship to keep it away from the fire?
Absolutely, yes.
Well, then
Good.
that's what I will do.
Oh, good, because I was going to give you corruption if you didn't.
I knew. I mean,
so you see that? Yeah,
makes sense.
that's a wise choice.
it would make sense
Yeah,
to save the kids.
So we are the new friend agency. We're good, guys. So you grab one of the crates and you begin dragging it toward the prow. Is the prow the front? Is that right? Well,
I couldn't remember.
It is. We're the front of the
The
ship.
till, I couldn't remember that.
I think it's the prow. I'm pretty sure because that's where the masthead goes. So
Yeah,
for listeners,
the foredeck.
the foredeck. Yeah. So you begin pulling it across this flat bottom ship, and you manage to, for 2 AP, and you manage to save half the children that have been kidnapped. But the other children are near the fire that, as we speak, is burning even more intensely.
Okay.
So, as a little bit over a minute has passed.
Sometimes fire works on ships. Sometimes it's a really bad idea when there's kids.
Hey, you know what? It was a calculated risk. You didn't know. That's the way it works. So, Alistair, it's your turn again.
All right, I'm still engaged with the with at least one of these guys.
You are, yes. So, 2 of these slavers are still standing. One just took a pretty serious and got knocked to the side.
Yeah.
So one of them is moderately wounded, the other one is still unharmed. But they're there armed with their bollocks daggers, lunging and striking and doing what they can to take you down.
I should have. So, does using a litany of hatred and get does it cause opportunity attacks?
It does not know.
I didn't think so. So I'll look directly into his eyes, and I assume the chisis has like razor blades sort of like on the palm of it, basically. It's kind of the way it works. I'll lick the blood off of the hand. Said, you should have run when the man told you to. I'll look right into his eyes.
Great.
And I'll use Litany of Hatred.
Okay. Make an intimidate test. What's your current damage condition?
Unharmed.
Oh, perfect. So it's routine.
Alright, so Intimidate routine is 75%. I had a 91. You know what? Nobody. I'm going to take a fortune point.
Okay.
It makes sense to do it on things under 75.
Yeah.
Or 75% or higher.
You got 1 fortune point left and 2 is fortune.
No one licks blood off the razors for no reason.
Yes. 59 is success.
Okay.
So I can affect 3 of them. So that's basically who's left are affected by Litany of Hatred.
Oh, nice.
So Drews and the 2 slavers are now under. They
So-
have -1.
That's right. So it'll offset essentially his inspiring words, which is actually to your advantage. So you kind of turn the tide at this point with a series of great and lucky rolls and some good decision making. Druce at this point, he peels back the hood. And you see this man who is bereft of hair completely, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, no hair on his head, but he's painted with these kind of painted or tattooed. You can't really tell with these kind of swirls around his head, and he kind of hisses, and you see his teeth have been really kind of sawn into like rows like animal teeth, and he kind of almost withdraws at this.
I still have 2 AP remaining.
That's right. What do you want to do now?
So after licking the palm with the razor blades on it, I will actually I will take aim and do like an open-handed slap across his chest with the razors.
Across the slaver's chest?
Yes, like a wrestling chop.
I love it.
Love it.
Love it.
That would suck really bad, actually.
Go ahead and make a. So go ahead and make a standard test.
All right. This one I was taking aim with, so does that move to routine? Okay, yeah. Just check. So 61%. 42 is a success.
Nice. He has no AP to dodge or to parry, so roll damage.
All right. So see how this is. 2 plus 8 is 10 points of brawling damage.
Right. He's seriously wounded. Roll 2d6.
I don't want to be in front of Walter's character.
Alistair's a powerhouse.
No injuries.
Okay.
I can see the 3 little places of blood where the glove sees it.
You can see the kind of blood along where the quilted armor is kind of parted, at least where it isn't buttoned up. But these slavers are in a pretty bad shape. One is flailing around the water. One is lying dead in a pool of his own blood. Druce is still unharmed. He has pulled back his serpentine cloak and he hisses. He almost seems to take a couple steps back from what's happening. So Terwin, it's your turn.
Terwin is going to close the distance with a hustle.
Excuse me?
He's going to close the distance with a hustle.
Oh, okay, up to the slavers. Okay.
And then he's going to.
Oh, wait a second. You're already.
No, you got pushed out of the
right.
game.
Yeah, pushed out.
You sure did. That's right.
Yeah, but one went overboard, so I figured maybe.
That's a fair point. So it'll cost 1 AP to hustle forward.
Yeah. And then. Yeah. Then I will take aim as I set up somebody by pushing my shield out to kind of knock him off balance and push him in the direction where I want his body to be when I take a swing.
Love it.
With my one-trade sword.
Routine.
Okay, the routine, that'll be a 60% chance. And a 56 will succeed.
Nice. Roll damage.
Okay. Let's see here. 5 plus 7 because my shield is light is 12.
Okay. Nice. Well, it is a total damage, you said?
Yes, and go ahead.
As the sword kind of tears through the air, the slaver staggers back, begging for his life until Terran plunges it into his stomach. As he pulls it out, the man slides off the end of the sword as he is like pin cushion. He's very quilted. The slaver is slain. Only one slaver remains in Druce, the captain. And they are beginning to second guess what's happening here.
Give up, and you might live.
Probably not. But
I'm gonna start laughing out loud. I told you to pull the ship over, you bloody idiot!
previous experiences less
Hey, you stupid snake! Pull the
points in there.
Yeah.
Roll a magic 8 ball. At this point, the remaining slaver drops his. He will drop his Balak dagger, and he will attempt to rush for. I say rush for. He's attempt to basically tackle Terwin off his ship.
Oh.
This is going to be a challenging athletics test.
Oh.
95, but I have a misfortune point to see what happens.
Keep rolling.
We will see what happens. So his chances are 65. 72 won't do it. But gosh, I think that slaver really wants to take care of Terran. So that last misfortune point that I have on my side healing is 65%. 74. He comes forward. You kind of grab him, arresting him in one spot as he's unable to kind of wiggle forth. You let go of him, and he staggers. At this point, as he's attempted his takedown, which has been a complete. Literally, a complete and utter failure on his part. He will bank his remaining 2 AP. Druce will say something like, "Drop to the ground," he says to one of the slavers in his native tongue. And as this happens, Druce takes both pistols, levels them at Terwin, and the slaver had the 2 AP. He immediately assists Druce as he grabs a hold of Terwin's arm, trying to pull him in. So when Druce fires, he will get an assist die. So that's your assist action now.
Okay.
So my chances are 70%. 70% chance to succeed. If I miss, I have to reroll, and he made it into a guy. This is the first shot. He'll take the 37. Okay. He fires at you with the gunshot shotgun bolts, slamming at your chest. Wow. So the first shot, you will suffer 10 damage. Boom!
As I am grievously wounded.
Oh no! Roll 3d6.
Roll well, come on, man. Get up, Shane.
And there's a 6.
Oh no! Grievous injury! So choose a card, but choose wisely. Choose a card here.
I apologize to our listeners. I'm about to open up these
It is
chests.
Grievous.
They're all I'll just take one on top.
Okay. What happens?
Detached ear until fully recuperated. You cannot hear as you're in pain. You must undergo a successful surgery
You shot your ear off.
or suffer the consequences. Once a detached ear has undergone a failed surgery, you suffer the crop ear drawback.
Blam! The shot fires, and you see his ear kind of hanging off the side of his high-pitched sound in your ear as you kind of hear this going on. You're, oh, Bruce takes the other shot and goes, blam, blam! He fires a shot toward Alistair with the other shot. Boom, boom! Like such. This one is not assisted, however. 46.
All right.
Shot.
I'll use my lightning reflexes to attempt to dodge it.
Unfortunately, you cannot dodge or parry gunpowder weapons.
Yeah.
So as you get ready to kind of react, you realize that you've been caught
crap.
dead to rights.
Yeah, crap.
It's 1d6 plus 6.
All right.
So it's 9 damage.
All right. It moves me into the lightly wounded category.
Boom! Gun smoke. Blam, blam! He drops one of the pistols as he quickly loads the one that's in his hand. Click! He's got the flintlock pistol loaded once again. Okay, now it is Harper's turn. The fire begins to spread across the deck of the ship. Or has been, at least, I should say.
Seeing as this slaver in front of me now is disarmed, I'm just going to go ahead and move on past him towards the big guy with pistols.
Okay.
Even though I may take an opportunity attack, I feel like well, he's
got no weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's disarmed.
And you're on horseback.
He literally has no weapons to attack you with. The best he could possibly do is to try to punch the horse, which would probably be really stupid in his part. So I think what he's going to try to do is you come by and try to wrestle your leg from its stirrup with an opportunity attack.
Okay.
So it's in this case, it is only a 55% chance. 11.
Oh my goodness!
As you begin to move forward, Harper, he grabs onto your leg and visualizes this can do damage.
Right.
Instead, he yanks you off your horse on the ground. Ugh! He hits the ground. The horse rears up and begins to kind of like move back and forth. The whole boat kind of splooshes one way and moves the other way and begins kind of shoveling back and forth. So you are now off your horse, not prone on the ground, but your weapons are still in hand.
Right. So I will use my remaining 2 AP to stand up.
Okay. Ugh! You come up to your feet. All right. So, Harper, your turn is over. Banneker.
I'll move the last box.
Okay. Banneker will be up 2 so you need to hustle for 1 AP, and then move the box for 2 AP. Keeping the children from the flames.
Right. That's the plan here.
That's right.
Because I completely screwed up.
But the fire's been burning for 3 minutes, and it begins to form a curtain of flame burning all along the starboard of the ship. It hasn't caught the sail, fortunately, but the ship now, being that nobody has been manning the mast, is heading toward what looks like a collection of boats strung together along the side of the Bastards River underneath a nearby building that's kind of up on high stilts above the water. The boat is about to crash into a nearby domicile.
Flaming boat and then more boats.
That's right. So that's the fire's turn. Alistair, what do you want to do?
All right. Well, that slaver is like pulled him in front of that bullet right there.
That's right.
I just got shot him. A little bit of like smoke and charred flesh where the pellets in it. I'll sort of rub at it with my hand for a second, like you would like if you like accidentally like ashed yourself with a cigar. Just, you know. Right. That sort of smell of flesh. All right. I'm engaged with the other one still, correct? Because we are side by side. All right. I will. Yeah, I will take aim and I will swing basically like right at the back of his head. Try to hammer him down while he's holding on to Terwin's arm. So I will take aim, and that makes it a routine test.
Yes, routine.
All right. So 61% chance. Come on, dice. You've been good to me tonight. I missed. That's a 72. Okay. I think we're out of fortune too.
Unfortunately, the
we got one.
Okay, one.
Should I do it?
Yeah, you just choke.
What's that?
You can just do whatever you want.
Should I?
Do you, man.
It's the last fortune point.
I'd rather not feed him a misfortune point at this point, seeing as how I'm grievously wounded. and the guy's been gunning for me this whole time.
Literally.
You obviously
true.
are the leader.
You could
we're all,
use
we're all
that.
listening to you.
All right, I will. I'll accidentally slam my fist into the mast or whatever, and like miss the.
It's like you kind of your hand kind of comes off the mask. Oh, you feel your knuckles hurt. You kind of shake your hand. You can feel it. You could feel like that. You know, like if you hit a baseball bat against like a fence post or a tree, you feel it kind of down your wrist. You're like, ah. He grabs his hand. Okay, so anything else, Alistair?
I'll.
It's 2 AP.
Yeah, I already spent 2 AP.
You aimed and you punched.
Well, you know what? Let's I'll swing on my hand. I'll try to choke the guy. I'll grab on.
He's still holding on the Tailwind, and he turns around and yanks Harper off his horse, leaving himself unexposed. It's a standard test, a standard athletics.
All right. Standard athletics is a 65. Double zeros.
Oh,
double
critical failure.
Yeah, critical failure.
Oh no.
Yeah.
As you lunge out to grab a hold of him, he quickly doubles back and sweeps his leg down in front of you, trying to take you down.
This guy's a fucking MVP, man.
He is now.
Don't fuck around.
Been living a lot of crazy critical failure successes tonight, which is great. This is the way a battle should be. It should be pitched like this.
It's gonna be like Shadows of Mordor. This dude's gonna get a name and some war
Right.
He's gonna be on the nemesis list.
Slaver number 3.
Slaver number 3. I'll tear you off your horse. He'll drop down and try to sweep your leg out from underneath of you. For takedown. His test is only 50%. 21. It hits. He strikes. So you need to resist with a coordination test yourself, which is also standard.
All right. Standard coordination is 49. Come on. 70. Now he's definitely took me down.
He catches you as you kind of come down toward him. And you hit the deck as well as you're now at a perilous place. Only if he had a misfortune point to make an attack. That would have been terrible. Alistair, your turn is over. Terwin, what will you do?
It was a bad turn.
All manner of standing crates and things to take cover behind if you intend to do that.
Right. So that was a question. So I'm still engaged with this one.
You are, yes.
But am I also engaged with cover?
No. Anytime you take cover, you move 1 yard and you take cover behind it.
Okay. But like, okay.
The
So I'm not
no.
engaged.
That's right.
That's okay.
You take cover. It's always you take cover 1 yard away. So even if you were beside something you could take cover from, you still must move at least 1 yard to take cover behind it. Basically, if it's a crate, you still duck behind it. It's still provoke an opportunity attack if you did that.
Right, which I cannot afford to
Take
do.
him out.
So
He's winded. He's grievously wounded.
oh, this guy is.
No, you are.
Oh, okay. I was like,
He
what?
is unharmed.
Yeah.
He's slaver number 3.
Yeah.
He's horse
That's
taker.
what I was like.
He's
You were
he's
like,
horse
what's a move?
taker.
I'm like, yeah.
Slaver number 3,
take the guy
horse
in
taker.
front of
He moved up a notch on the nemesis track.
He did.
Yeah.
He got a helmet and some paint.
But yeah, he's the only
$40.
remaining slaver, and Druce is just
Awesome
a
idea.
few yards behind him with a loaded pistol, and his eyes are locked with you.
Right. Well,
He's going to take next round to load, though.
Right.
maybe not.
I wouldn't if I were him.
So we'll go ahead and attack towards this guy in front of me
Okay.
as I bring my mortuary sword, like stab outward with thrust.
You give it your all. It is going to be a... Are you taking aim?
No.
Okay. Standard test.
Standard test, it'll be 50% chance. As a 29 will succeed.
Okay. He has no AP to... Well, he's certainly not going to parry with his bare hands. So you may make it...
Sword!
You can always try.
I can catch a sword with my bare hands.
Yeah.
Right in the face.
I think the
try.
sword... What's it called? The stuff, a sword saint. But there's a profession in Main Gash that can do that.
Oh, really?
I can't remember what it's called though. But go ahead and roll damage regardless.
It's still gone.
He's not gonna parry. He's just gonna get. He's oh my god.
Okay,
The Kai
4 plus 7 is 13.
Wow.
Wait, no, 11. I did my math.
Oh, so the blade tears and he kind of takes a couple steps back and it cuts through the quilted, but doesn't. You don't quite feel like the give as you would expect. As it doesn't strike any bones or flesh, but he is lightly wounded.
Okay, lightly wounded. In that case, I hate doing this, but I am going to take cover.
Okay. You, at this point, kind of... You steel yourself, and he begins to kind of step away. He's unarmed. He has nothing in his hands, but he is slaver number 3, Horse Taker. As he will attempt to make an opportunity attack, as you kind of begin to stagger back, he tries to kind of like... He almost slaps his hand outward to try to hit you in the face, or at least to spin you around to cold cock you in the mouth. So his test is standard. It is a 55. That's 29.
Okay, he hits me.
Bam!
No, you have lightning reflex and.
Oh,
you can't.
no, it's an opportunity attack.
Sorry.
He will do
I was
4 plus 8 damage.
Okay, I'm still grievously.
Oh my god! That was so close!
Is 9
You
your,
managed to like stagger back,
9 your threshold?
and you
right
take.
now because of inspiring words.
That's right. Oh, if it wasn't for inspiring words, you would have been on the edge.
No, I have an 8, so I still would have been good.
That's good.
It's 9.
So you will take cover, and you will gain. As you take cover, you will gain the advantage of plus 6 to your damage threshold.
Oh, thank goodness.
And be more difficult to strike.
Yeah, still not guaranteed.
Medium cover, if you will. So
that gun can fuck you up.
Terwin does that. Slaver number 3, Horse Taker, as we're calling him now. He's got both Alistair and Harper on the ground. Harper is clearly armed.
Harper's back up.
That's right, he's still up. That's right. Harper's stuff, that's right. So Alistair's still on the ground. So he is going to take advantage of that. He's going to make a called shot. He's going to drop a big boot in your face.
Alright.
So that's going to be 2 AP for him, and you can't dodge or parry this because it's a called shot.
Alright.
So it's a 44. Wow, I rolled some crazy. I rolling crit failures or crit successes all night. So
well, at least I can't take grievous wounds from the arm, guys.
So 1d6 for just a barehanded attack with his foot. 1d6 because you were on the ground and you gained a critical success, so you will be stunned, meaning you will lose 1 AP until you resist successfully on your turns.
Alright.
So you're starting with 1 AP less unless you resist. So he brings the boot down to a big old thick slaver's boot. A jack boot, if you will. You can imagine he's put this boot in the throats of many folk over the years. Oh, it's an explosion. Wow. 10 damage so far. 11, 12, 13, 17 damage.
Alright, that moves me into seriously.
He stomps down once and he stomps down again. He holds his boot against Alistair's throat. Alistair grabs his ankle and kind of moves it off of him. You see Alistair kind of, he's seizing for breath. You're seriously wounded, you said?
Yes.
Roll 1d6.
Alright.
Sorry, 2d6. Is it light? You're moderately or seriously?
I moved from lightly to serious.
Okay, so it's
I moved
2d6.
I moved 2 steps down. Yeah. So he's unarmed, so they can't do grievous wounds anyway, right?
That's right.
Yeah. I'm not injured.
Okay. Whew, that's good. So the slaver at this point has used 2 AP, and he banks the last one. Druce, at this point, seeing that Alistair is on the ground and he has 1 loaded pistol, the slaver will assist for 1 AP, and he'll try to kind of pick up Alistair's kind of flailing against him as he picks him up so he can assist him when he shoots. Druce fires toward Alistair. Gives an assist die. And that's a 55 or crit success.
Alright. I'm basically dead, guys, so good game.
So it's 6 plus. So it's 8 damage.
The crit success, it's 2 rolls 2 dice, right?
Not in this case.
Okay.
As he takes the shot.
Alright, that moves to grievous.
Okay. Roll 3d6.
Alright. Alright. Yeah. I did get an injury. I did roll 6.
Ooh. Shot. That's 2 grievous injuries tonight. So choose an injury, any injury.
Let's see. I have a severed artery, and I'm instantly slain.
Oh,
What?
So I have a severed artery, so I'm instantly slain.
So spend a fate point
All right.
to escape death.
All right.
Bam! You see that he is shot on the ground and is now
Makes
moving.
sense. Yeah.
He's breathing shallowly, but he's not moving. And with this, Bruce will. So we'll talk about what happens afterward. So it's going to be an interesting kind of narrative turn here. But Bruce is going to leave the boat. He is going to leap off the back of his ship into the water as he departs. The remaining slaver at this point is unable to do anything. He has no AP. Your numbers are so great that overwhelming him will be trivial at best. There's no sense of continuing to roll dice. The question is, though, is that the ship is now careening toward this building on stilts over the river, or the Bastards River. And you can see that there are boats kind of collected beneath them, kind of tied up together, and the ship is on fire along the starboard bow. And there is a considerable amount of danger, you'd imagine, at this point. So the question is, what are you going to do?
Do the till and try and...
Terran's going to immediately start yelling. He's going to say, "If you're saying anything, I can't hear you."
Move the till and try and steer the ship away from that to the other bank.
If you're going to steer the ship, that's good. Try and put out that fire, or at least manage it.
Alright.
Don't you fucking move! As I point to the slaver, and I've got him at the sword point, and I'm gonna say, "Alistair, you alright?"
Alistair makes no response.
And he immediately shakes his head because he asked him if he was alright, and he can't hear the response. So he's gonna continue to point his sword at the slaver, and he's gonna see about bending over and shaking him and seeing what happens.
Alistair?
Yeah, shaking Alistair. Sorry.
Alistair's he's breathing shallowly. He's grievously wounded and unconscious. So Alistair, move yourself to incapacitated on the ground condition track, but you will be unconscious for a little bit.
So I'm incapacitated and grievously wounded.
That's right.
Alright.
So you're back at the end. You're at the other side. You're at the rudder of the ship, Banneker, trying to pilot this thing away from the impending doom that may await you if this is to crash into the stilts of the building. No telling what will happen. The children are still on top. You're going to need to make. I would assume that being that Bellegane is a city of canals, that you have at least some knowledge of piloting. So we'll make this test trivial to turn the rudder the correct way.
Okay, that's all I'm trying to do. I'm basically just trying to get the ship to go into the bank. Okay, and pilot is under...
We're just trying to crash gracefully in. That's all we're trying to do. Crash gracefully.
Okay, so trivial. So it's a 76% chance. So it's flip to fail, right?
Right.
So I rolled an 80.
Ugh.
So I instantly failed.
That's failure. So...
that sucks.
Oh, you have one fortune point left. I'll take that as fortune point.
That was almost bad.
So, will you get on this reroll?
Yes, 42 or
Nice.
Or 24.
Awesome. That's good.
Okay.
He grabs the rudder of the ship. He pulls it one way. The boat suddenly veers the opposite way, almost like you spin around your chair very quickly, in fact. And you all begin to stagger across the boat as it goes spinning to one side and suddenly crash up onto the silty bar of the shore. It comes, throwing everyone off your feet, collapsing to the ground. The fire is still burning. The horse and everyone else atop the ship is thrown off their feet as the whole boat, the persistent viper, as the ship is called. You can see it has it says on the side of the ship. It comes up on the silty shore and is thrown to the ground. As you come within just a few yards, almost crashing into this building over the Bastards River on stilts. And we will take a pause here and resume in just a few moments.
All right.